Dear Intel, today I played Hitman the Third. The game's so unlinear, it literally has level on rails. It came out in 2021, developed and published by IO Interactive. I'm genuinely glad for them. IO had quite a rough past with publishers, and now they can have much more creative freedom and make a game without any restraints. With that being said, I'm quite lukewarm on Hitman 3. It rides off on the success of two previous games and brings very little of its own to the table. The first mission is in Dubai, as you can clearly see by the clouds. There you can feast your eyes upon Palm Jumeirah, famous artificial archipelago, and a little to the side you can see famous Dubai's frame, and of course let's not forget about Dubai's beautiful mosques and malls. Damn, what a trip. This map has a couple of big empty spaces, like it's set in some kind of alien stronghold. And the other part is a lot of similarly looking corridors and rooms, which in my head all became this one mesh of rectangles and cubes. Because of that, this map felt incredibly small, even though technically it's not. But there's just not much to look at and nothing interesting is going on. I like that they didn't make another tutorial map like it was in Hitman 2 and started straight up from the actual Hitman run, even though they had some things to introduce. While playing through 7 Hitman games, I always thought to myself, man, if only they added this feature where you can take silly pictures and hack open windows and air shafts, but only in very specific designated places with icon on a map.
I trust you've had a good look around. Are you ready to see the crime scene now?
Not quite yet. 47 now has a passion for photography, and so strong in fact you won't be able to separate him from his camera. I still have camera. How? Can somebody explain me how? The only good use I found for the camera, aside from just goofing around, is spotting codes in the environment, and that's about it. Fuses! They are back! Yeah, there is a mission to find fuses in a Hitman game. Just a quick rule of the thumb, if a game has fuses or dragons in it, then the developers of that game are officially out of ideas. It's been done so many times, and each time finding fuses is just something they give player to do as an excuse for a gameplay, when in reality it's just boring waste of time. Another thing that triggered me was a golf ball they brought back.
Exploding golf ball? I don't want blood on my hands.
What, again?
I've never taken things to such an extreme before.
Why would you repeat that? In first Hitman and Sapienza, it was a very unique and original way to take down your target, where you are provided with the explosive golf ball by ICA. Now it's some random janitor lady who has it and you have to steal it. And it just pisses me off that they use this very distinct and memorable assassination again, because just they can't come up with anything new. Next map, Knives Out. Dartmoor, England. It's set in a gloomy old mansion filled with the family of rich assholes, with the main premise being a murder mystery, which you can solve by disguising yourself as a private detective. Just like with Mumbai's Hidden Target, I love the idea of it just as much as I hate the execution. I like puzzles, I like murder mysteries, and for the first part I was completely absorbed by the case and forgot about my actual reason being here. But after a while I realized that the game again just drags me around in an iron handhold. It tells me exactly how much clues are in each room, rules out suspects for me. When there's a fake out that Butler did it, not a second passes and Diana just tells you that it's not him.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder.
And after following game's instructions, which is questioning people and look for the clues in their rooms, it just presents you with a killer. So what was even the point?
You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47.
The game just played itself. Why am I even here? Why are you so afraid of giving a player a chance to make a mistake? Without it, it's just pointless and not fun. Overall, Dartmoor is a decent map. It's on the good side of Hitman 3. You understand where you are, what you are doing, where you are going. The characters are more memorable. Most of assassinations were pretty basic, but there is a couple of interesting ones.
I trust you'll see yourself out.
But
I need to excuse myself.
you're not going to pay me?
I need some privacy. Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file.
that's
on
cool
Arthur
actually.
Edwards.
That was unexpected. Next map is Rave Party in Berlin. It has an essence of Hitman contracts. It's dark, it's grimy, it's savage. And it's also reminded me of a level in Blood Money where there was a hell-themed club as well. At first I didn't like it, but upon exploring I understood it more and it actually turned out to be good. They go for quantity over quality. There is a lot of targets with the quick and easier ways to deal with them compared to your classical Hitman assassinations. And this map doesn't even have mission stories, which could be a point of criticism for some people. But that works for the idea. It tries to be quick, it tries to be snappy, simple, and have great momentum. I could even argue that without changing anything, if they really wanted to add mission stories in the game, they could have. Take the juice bar where you infiltrate as a barman, take a delivery boy, take the sequence where you pretend to be a boss of a club and then gather every agent in the room and start a shootout. That all could have been mission stories easily, but that's the thing. Mission stories would only tell you where to go when you don't need them to, so I'm glad that they didn't add them. I'm glad that they went for something different, and I'm glad that it worked. If I had to choose, Berlin would be my favorite level of the Hitman 3. Next map, China, Chongqing? John Cena, help me out here.
重庆
At first I didn't like it, but upon exploring I didn't like it. Next map, Mendoza, Argentina.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be.
She touched me. My true love.
Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47.
This one was decent, kind of on the same level as Dartmoor and DLC levels from Hitman 2. The standout of this mission would be the fact that Diana is now in the environment and you can bother her to your heart's content.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello.
Kindly point that elsewhere.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello.
I'm getting an unpleasant case of déjà vu, 47.
Ah.
You kill a bunch of people together and you exfiltrate by dancing a tango. Gotta give points for being classy. Next map, the train in the middle of nowhere. They had to conclude the story of the trilogy somehow, and if you give player a choice, they would whack Moriarty in the weirdest way possible. So I understand why they did it. They needed a dramatic, controlled ending. And there was certain epicness to it, to rise up from the back of the train and go to the head without any items, well, except for camera, because how can you go without it? But yeah, it's not really a Hitman map, you won't be replaying it, it works just to close the story, and I'm not even mad about it. There was also Ambrose Island. It's a free DLC map, which is commendable. It's better than Dubai, though on the same level as China. I haven't played 7 Deadly Sins DLC, because I don't have money for it, and honestly I don't really care that much about it too.
All right. I will leave you to prepare.
He looks in the camera. I don't know. Whoever made the story for Hitman 3 is just trolling, I think. If I had to describe story in Hitman 3 with one word, it would be uncompelling. In the first Hitman it was intriguing and cinematic, and it seemed like it was leading to something interesting. In the second Hitman it all fell apart, and in the third one they just had to pick up the pieces and wrap the whole thing up. It was funny when Frenchie died, because I couldn't care less about this wooden character. Even though he was following 47 to each mission, he still felt very underdeveloped. All he was doing is hiding outside of the map somewhere, then providing us with dry, pompous monologues each time, crawling out of his skin to look cool. And when you kill such unrelatable, boring character, surprise, it's not very effective. If it's not rednecks who take down 47, it's redheads. Diana pulled the same trick she did in Blood Money, appearing to betray 47 when in fact putting him closer to the antagonist. And Moriarty is not really that threatening anymore, since we already outsmarted him in Ark Society in the second game. The only thing I like about the story would be a secret ending, when Moriarty presents you with a choice to inject yourself with a serum that wipes your memory out.
Wake up. Wake up, my friend. It's the dawn of a new day, and you have things to do.
Wake up, my friend. It's the dawn of a new day, and you have things to do.
And thus concludes my journey through the Hitman franchise, and like with all good journeys, destination wasn't the best part of it. Hitman 3 just needed to be more innovative in assassinations and level design. It didn't manage to impress me like the first and the second one did, even though it's basically the same game with the same mechanics with just different maps. And now, soon after this video comes out, IO merges the trilogy into one game called Hitman World of Assassination, which I very much approve, and also brings a new roguelike game mode called Freelancer, which I might check out at some point. It took me 12 hours to complete, with exploration it's 50 hours total, and I give Hitman 3 75 out of 100.